Now it's time for Movie Friends with your hosts Michelle and Seth. We're talking film without pretension. We're finding cats that are unexpected. We'll watch a movie, film, or schmovie. And we want you to join our journey. So subscribe and share this podcast, or this might just be the last of the Movie Friends. We're movie friends. We want to be your movie friends.
Hey, welcome to Movie Friends. I'm here with my friend Michelle Rubenstein, who can not only dance, but she can also jive.
And I'm here with my friend Seth Vargas, who wants you to take a chance on him.
Very good.
Thanks.
What's going on?
Well, I have a question for you. Do you use bath towels or bath sheets?
What is a bath sheet?
A very large bath towel.
Well, apparently I use bath towels because I've never heard of this idea before.
Okay, so Aunt and I recently replaced all of our towels. Aunt has hated our towels for a long time. Aunt is a 6'2" tall dude.
Yeah.
So we decide we're going to order 4 bath sheets. The bath sheets do not fit in my bathroom. And when I put them on, I feel like I am a child
Yes.
wrapped in a queen-size blanket.
Okay.
And so Aunt, who's like, these are really nice, but I think we should have just gotten bath towels.
I gotta look this up while you're talking here. Bath sheet?
Yeah.
Oh my god. 40 by 80 inch?
It's a blanket.
Why don't wow. All right. Well, I can understand needing a bigger towel, but there is something fun about when you have a towel that's a little too small and you're trying to
Maneuver
get yourself
a dry.
all dry. Yeah. And then you put it around your waist and it's kind of like just enough to tuck in there and hold on. There's something a little fun about that.
You enjoy that.
I like it. I guess I never thought about it, but I think I like a towel challenge.
A towel challenge. You want to
Yeah.
dry yourself with a dishcloth.
Well, I don't want it to be like the scene from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles where he's using one. But now, are you a scrubber or are you a dripper?
What process are we asking this for?
With the towel.
Sure.
Towel.
With the
So
towel.
you get out. You're not in a rush. Forget about a rush. You get out of the shower.
I pat dry.
You pat?
I pat dry and then apply lotion and then apply body oil.
So, okay.
We're double moisturizing.
That's too many.
Anyway,
No,
I've just been obsessed with this, and now Aunt and I are just like, wow, these bath sheets. And the thing is, too, I think bath sheets fit in a bigger house. You've been in my bathroom. It is small. It takes up like 75% of the bathroom.
Can I make a suggestion?
You may.
Get out a pair of scissors.
No, that's...
Turn that bath sheet into a bath towel. Problem solved.
There you go. Problem solved.
Next.
What's going on with you, Seth? What's going on with you?
It's incredibly hot.
Yeah.
We are recording this on Wednesday, June 25th. We went through the heat dome, I think they called it.
Oh, really?
I think that's what they called it.
Okay.
And, I work in a restaurant.
Yeah.
I think I lost like 5 or 6 pounds this week.
It's like you did a cleanse.
Yes. Well, that's why I always say, I'm like, hey, people pay good money to sweat like this.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, in just a few weeks, we're going to be hanging out at the Stony Brook Film Festival. Very exciting. Michelle, you going to go?
I am going to go. I can't wait. It's July 17th through the 26th. And we have a very, very awesome giveaway happening. We're giving away 4 free passes to the festival.
That's very exciting. That's a big value.
It's a huge value. And 2 of them are gold passes, which include all the parties.
So you get to go hang out afterwards.
With the filmmakers. And
that's
us.
That's pretty intense, actually. How do people sign up for this giveaway? Certainly, there must be a long process, right?
Of course there is. You just have to head to the link in our show notes. You just input your name and your email.
Wait a minute. That's it?
That's it. It's so
just a
easy.
name and email?
That's it.
You don't have to enter credit card information?
Nope. And we're not even adding you to any kind of email list.
That's because, quite frankly, we're stupid. We should be doing that.
Well,
But you know
Anyway,
what? We are
we're
movie
not.
friends. We're not movie business.
That's right. That's right. And you can also save 25% off on your pass, Flex Pass. They have a la carte tickets. You can use code MovieFriends at checkout if that seems more of an idea for you.
This is crazy.
I
And
know.
what do we get out of this? Do we get anything?
We get nothing.
We get nothing but the joy
Nothing.
of connecting people with this film festival.
Yeah,
We're kind of heroes.
I would say so.
So head over to that link in the show notes and do everything that Michelle just said.
Good luck.
So we don't have any emails. We don't have any new reviews. Did anything good happen this week?
Well, actually, yes.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. What?
I got my Ed Wood book in the mail that friend of the show, Will Sloan, wrote.
Very cool.
Started reading it.
Mhm.
I'm obsessed with the cover. It's like bright pink and has a black and white photo of Ed Wood. Exciting stuff. Did you get yours?
I haven't gotten mine yet, and I'm so jealous. I keep seeing all these people, and they're posting selfies with the book.
Uh-huh.
They're
Yep.
reading it. They're loving it. You know how they always say, like, be the first kid on your block. I'm going to be the last kid on the block with my Ed Wood book.
Yeah, that's real sad. I'm going to poke and laugh at you. Ha!
We've come to the end of wedding month. Can I ask you now, here we are at the end of it, what has this been like for you?
Well, like I expressed last week, it's been really rough judging movies I love, but Melancholia and this movie that we're going to talk about today, I felt a little bit differently.
Sure.
I felt I could be a critic.
Okay. Okay.
No, in all seriousness, I love the theme
Mhm.
and I do love a rom-com and I do love wedding movies, but yeah, it just made me think about ones that I wanted to watch. And then I reminded myself, you can always watch them. You don't just
Mhm.
need like a theme or an assignment from the podcast.
Right.
Yeah. And then when you talk to people about the theme, I don't know if you've experienced this month. You tell them what you cover and then they're like, "Oh, but you didn't do."
Well, I mean, that's, yeah. I think New York Times just put out an online ballot for like the 10 best movies of the century so far.
Oh, geez.
And I'm just flat out refusing to do it because of that exact thing. As soon as you put down, here's these 10, it's like, well, what about this? And what about that? There are filmmakers right now who didn't really start making movies until the turn of the century.
Right.
And then you look at, and I know this isn't your favorite, but you look at like all 3 Lord of the Rings movies, which are some of the most important and impactful films. All 3 of those came out this century. So do you put all 3 of those in? It's like,
Or do you
it's
just
insane.
keep the franchise as one? Does that count
Sure,
as one?
right. But like
Yeah.
limiting it to 10. So anytime you limit something, all some people will see is what isn't there.
Yeah. I just feel like I've gotten a lot of feedback for this month. And I think because wedding movies and rom-coms are just, I mean, I know I keep saying the two, but generally speaking.
Yeah.
So the wedding theme has been a rom-com. They're like, "Oh, why didn't you do My Best Friend's Wedding? Why didn't you do Bridesmaids? Why didn't you do Rachel Getting Married? Is that a movie? Someone's
Rachel getting married? Yep.
Yeah.
I honestly think
My Best Friend's Wedding.
wedding month could have easily been 2 months.
It really could have, yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
This has been a really weird one for me. I feel that I have enjoyed each one. I just feel like this has been the longest month
Well, it's
of
5 Mondays.
my life. It's 5 Mondays.
Yeah.
When did we go to Massachusetts?
Dude, that was a month ago. That feels like
Yes.
7,000 years ago. To you, does it? Because to me it does. Like I'm looking at
Yes.
wasn't that like a month from today?
Like
A month ago
wedding
today?
singer. We covered the wedding. That feels like a year ago that we covered the wedding singer. I almost texted you today and said, Michelle, we are halfway through our 3rd year of doing this show.
Wow.
It's like I have no concept of that. Because when I think about it, I'm like, certainly it can't have been that long. But then I'll be
No.
like, oh, we did wedding singer 3 years ago.
Right. Right.
I'm like, oh, we're just getting started. What are you talking
Right.
about?
And it's funny you say that because I was looking back through our episodes and I was like, I know we covered this. And I had to go real far back. And I'm like, I thought I covered that. We covered that sooner. I thought this movie we covered later. I don't know. It's just weird. It's really weird when you do a project, an ongoing project, show, series, whatever you want to call it.
I mean, imagine being Philip Lloyd.
Wow, yeah.
Doing this show and then being like, oh, I'll make a movie on it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna work with my two other besties, a part of it.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
So, to round out wedding month, we are talking about Mamma Mia from 2008, directed by Philip Lloyd, written by Katherine Johnson, cinematography by Harris Zambarlokis, composed by Benny Andersson and Bjorn Ulvaeus, edited by Leslie Walker, costume design by Anne Roth, starring, hold on to your hats, Meryl Streep, Amanda Seyfried, Julie Walters, Christine Baranski, Pierce Brosnan, Colin Firth, and Stellan Skarsgård. Now, I'm very excited to get into this movie. So excited that I forgot that we need to write down our ratings, our guesses as to what the other person is going to rate the movie. Now, like we mentioned last episode, Mamma Mia had like 3 turns around getting into this month, and it happened because our patrons voted for it. And this whole month was a patron voted theme. So thank you very much. But despite that, I don't really know how you feel about this movie. So I'm not sure really what I'm going to put down here.
If you were to guess my rating, I feel you should play Lotto.
Ooh, okay.
But for you, I also don't know what to put because I think you can look with this with two versions of yourself.
Okay.
So I'm a little stumped.
I just wrote down and scribbled out 4 guesses, but
Me too.
I'm locked in.
I'm also locked in.
Kind of like Mamma Mia. I don't really know who my daddy is. Or what your rating is. Anyway, okay, well, Michelle, you want to crack open the old diary and read us our summary?
Sophie wants only one thing for her wedding, for her dad to give her away at the altar. The only problem is she doesn't know who her dad is, but that's okay, because she found her mom's old diary and 3 men are on their way to her wedding: Harry, Sam, and Bill. Will Sophie find out who her father is before she says, I do? Or will she be left at the altar saying, Mamma Mia?
I finished writing this summary like after we started this episode. I was a little crammed for time, but this is it's a bad summary, but you know what? That's okay.
It fits, Seth. It fits this movie.
Mamma Mia, here we are.
But not Here We Go Again, because that's the sequel.
Not Here We Go Again, which is a movie that I refuse to watch because I like this one so much.
Ooh, hot take. Okay.
I just don't want anything to be spoiled and ruined for me. And I don't want to be like, oh no.
Interesting.
Ill feelings towards Mamma Mia. Now, before we talk about this movie, I want to ask you, you have seen the stage show.
Yeah.
On Broadway?
On Broadway. Can I share my Broadway story with you?
Yes.
Okay. We went with a group of people to see this show with my mom's school. My mom was a school social worker. And so there was a bus trip that took you into the city. You all sat together and then you went home on the bus together. Okay. Day comes to go see the show. We missed the bus because my dad took too long on the toilet.
Wow.
Yes. And so we had to take the train in, and the profanity coming from my dad's mouth, I'll let you use your imagination. Anyway, he hated the show. hated.
Oh my gosh.
And then we took the bus home with everybody.
Okay.
But me and my sister and my mom, we very much enjoyed the Broadway musical.
Why did he hate the show?
You know, it was a Sunday. I think he was very annoyed that we had to do this. And I look back, I find it very comical, but I kind of think of what you kind of say of like being a dad and having to do some things that maybe you don't want to do.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if my dad loved musicals. He did like Broadway shows though, and he liked ABBA.
Okay.
So I think he just did not like the musical. And then also the fact of us like missing the bus, him being on the toilet for 2 my mom like saying like, Ira, we gotta go. And my
Yeah.
dad, whatever. So
Wow, I'm glad that I asked.
it's
So
a-
how old
yeah.
were you?
Well, this had to have been, my dad passed in 2004. So I think the musical came out in 98, 99.
I think it was like 99 because when I saw that, I was like, there's no way. Mamma Mia has always existed.
No.
You know? I
Yeah.
remember growing up and seeing that poster
I know it is
of
iconic.
Sophie in the wedding dress
Yeah.
and the Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
And it's like that and Cats.
Yes.
To me, it was like the two shows that were advertised to us Long Islanders.
Yeah.
Cats was always like, see it before it's gone forever. I was like, I think that this show has run for like 70 years. I don't think it's ever gonna go away. And the Cats advertisement, oh God, I would love to watch that commercial again. I've done it in the past few years. Like I've looked up the TV spot for Cats. There's a cat like flying away on like a trash can lid or something. And as a kid, I was like, what is this show? I love the soundtrack. I love the, what do you call it? The book, right?
Yeah.
The songs of Cats, I absolutely love.
Yeah.
Have never seen the show.
Yeah, I've never seen the show. My mom would play a lot of it on the piano. She plays beautifully. And then my elementary school gym teacher, she pretty much only wore a black t-shirt with the Cats musical logo. That's all
That's awesome. That's great.
That's all she wore. Yeah. So anyway, I saw the musical and then this movie comes out.
Yeah. See, that's so wild to me. I need to look this up now. I'm looking up a lot of stuff. Bath sheets.
Oh, see, I put you to work tonight.
Wow, this is blowing my mind. Yeah. Mamma Mia musical premiered in London's West End on April 6, 1999. It opened on Broadway October 18th, 2001. That means that there was only 7 years between the show and the movie?
Right.
Wow. Okay, anyway, nobody cares about any of this. Okay. So you loved the show. Did you see this movie when it came out?
Sure did. So
how did you feel about
we're all excited. We love ABBA's a good time. Go to see this movie when it first comes out, and it's terrible. Terrible. And I haven't revisited since.
Okay.
Until
this
week.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So now revisiting it, how did you feel?
It's still terrible.
Oh,
it's
man.
terrible. However.
Okay.
It's terrible. And then I watch an hour-long video on making this movie.
Okay.
And I have a total different appreciation for it. I have a softer approach, but I still have so many questions.
Sure.
And critiques.
Okay. What was it about watching this video that changed your mind?
Well, for one, to see Phillida and Catherine and Judy together, the fact that these three women worked on the musical together and then they get to do the film adaptation, I think is pretty special. Their dynamic between the three of them, I just loved watching this and the behind the scenes and seeing how much they love each other. And I think it's really special also to have the rights to, you did the musical and now you get to do the film.
Yeah.
So I very much appreciate that. Everyone on set seemed to have a lot of fun. So I love hearing that because I'm like, I hope these people had fun making this movie.
Right.
I also think this is the perfect movie for Happies and Crappies.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah. And then, I mean, I don't know if you want me to get into my biggest question and criticism,
Go
but
for it. Go for all of it.
you decide to turn a musical into a film.
Yeah.
The musical on Broadway, everybody is beautifully singing. You feel the songs of ABBA, right? Why are we casting actors who cannot sing? I do
Yes.
not understand. This is what I don't
Yes.
understand. It has nothing to do with the women. Why Pierce? Why Colin? Stellan? He talks about in this behind the scenes video how he gets asked to do this role. And they say, "Can you sing?" And he goes, "No." And they're like, "Well, Meryl's attached to it." He's like, "Oh, yeah, I can sing. You can fly in the movie." He says, "You can fly in movies." So, yeah, I can sing.
Right. That's awesome. That's so awesome. It's a big question, right? It's a big hurdle to get through
Yes.
to enjoy the film, I think.
Yeah, Ant sat with me to watch it because he's never seen it. And within 10 minutes, he was like, this is bad. And he did not continue. He did not continue with me. And I, watching it this time, like true belly laughs.
Yes, yeah.
Like literally guttural belly laughs. Campy in the best way. This is something. This is something.
And not only singing, but dancing.
If you want to call it that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
It's like, okay, Stellan Skarsgård isn't so great, but man, he's light on his feet. You know? No, not at all.
No. Same thing with Colin. Colin Firth talks about how he didn't really want to sing and dance. And then he's like, well, you hired me. You know I can't do either. And I'm like, why are we hiring these guys for a musical adaptation? I do not understand. That makes no sense to me.
Did you hear the story of Pierce getting the offer and accepting it?
I did. And then the character Carmichael, his dad's name was Carmichael, and his dad recently passed away.
Yes. So Pierce Brosnan's stepdad passes away. Now this is the version of the story that we are told, and so
this is the version I heard Pierce tell in this behind the scenes video.
Right. So it's like, has this been punched up by, you know Media? What I mean, Hollywood legend, and can we kind of make this a nice, neat little story? I cannot tell you, okay? But his version of the story is stepfather passes away. He gets the call, hey, we want you for Mamma Mia.
Stop right there. Okay. Why do we want Pierce Brosnan for Mamma Mia?
When you said that, I'm still in musical mode, and so I heard the stop right there from Paradise by the Dashboard Light by Meatloaf. Stop right there. I gotta know right now.
I actually meant to text you this morning and tell you and pitch the idea, what if we sung parts of our episode? And we call it Movie Friends, the musical episode.
Movie Mia.
Why did they want Pierce? It makes no sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so continue. But truly, I couldn't find this answer. Why Pierce?
I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. I have very few answers. I just have my opinion on.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
Okay. So Pierce Brosnan's stepdad passes away, and they decide, like, hey, let's have bagpipes at his thing. Apparently, right after that, he gets a call. We want you from Mamma Mia. Go see the show. He goes to see the show. And the character's last name is Carmichael, which was his stepdad's last name. And at one point he says something about, hey, you still have my bagpipes, right? So he took this as a sign of like, you know what? No, I'm not fully suited for this role, but it's being offered to me and I'm going to take it. And like, he kind of, I watched two versions of him telling this story, and he kind of insinuates that he's like doing it in honor of his dead stepdad. And I'm like, you know what? Fine, sure. Go ahead. Like, if that's what you want to do. All three of these male leads, I don't think any of them were like bringing their A game / extremely confident about what they were walking into. And I kind of love that.
Sure, right? There's like two schools of thought here, because also you want to be a part of something really fun, I don't think they're bringing much of their A game either, but it's a challenge. But then from a logistical standpoint, and what I keep going back to is why these three guys
Why
for
these three
a
actors?
musical?
Right. I don't know, but I'm glad that it happened. So I've been on an ABBA like journey
Mm-hmm.
ever since I knew that we were going to do this episode. I've just been listening to ABBA over and over and over again. And I tweeted the other day, I was like, I think that ABBA might be like my favorite band ever. I don't know that I would go that far, but ABBA is like one of those bands when you're a kid, you know they're like one hit song. So that'd be like Dancing Queen.
Yep.
Or with the B-52s, you know Love Shack.
Right.
Or with Devo, you know Whip It.
Yep.
And so you think of these bands as like, oh, that's kind of like a silly gimmick band. And then you get older and you listen to them and you're like, oh my God, the B-52s actually are incredible and amazing. And same thing with Devo and same thing with ABBA. I think that ABBA is like the poppier version of Queen.
Yeah.
Like Queen is like one of the best rock bands of all time.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to name the two greatest rock bands, I would say Queen and Creedence Clearwater Revival. I would say American and British. For America, yeah, I would put CCR and then Queen for England. But what I love about Queen and ABBA is I love when people try to do something. It's like, how dramatic can we be? How over the top can we be? That's why I also really like Meatloaf, right?
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I love is when people don't care that much and they just go for it. And so I grew up listening to punk music. Talent is not necessary for entry into performing and writing and making art. So there's two, like you said at the top with my rating, it's like there's two people inside of me. I want something to be so well done. Like take the song Mamma Mia. Like if you listen to the song Mamma Mia, it is so well constructed, so tight, so precise, while also being really funny
Mm-hmm.
and really good and interesting. I love that song. So there's that half of me. And then there's the half of me that's like, who cares? Nothing matters. Anyone should be allowed to do whatever they want. And so for me, where the two things combine is the movie Mamma Mia. You have this like super well-loved stage show. You have the music of ABBA. And then you have Stellan Skarsgård singing and dancing. And so it's like, oh man, like nothing matters. And it's just fun to have fun.
Yeah, it is fun. And I am curious if I didn't see the musical,
Yeah,
how I would feel.
sure.
Because I just keep going back
Absolutely.
to it. And then I watched some clips from the musical and I was like, oh my God, this is so good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yes, this is great. I love this.
Adapting a stage show into a movie is very hard. Because if you change it too much, it's like, oh, this isn't really. This is still relying on so much like stage logic,
Yeah.
not movie logic, where we're just getting so much exposition over and over and over and over and over and over again. When we get to the wedding in this movie, and Donna's like, "Wait, that's why they're all here." I was like, "Where have you been the whole movie? Like, how are you just piecing this together?" Now, I think what does it take place in like one day? It's like 2 days or
2
something,
days. 2
something
days.
like that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like okay. But anyway, so here's my thing is this to me is like when your friends put on a show.
For sure.
We
For
know the
sure.
music of ABBA,
Yeah.
and how stellar it is. Beautiful. I mean, amazing voices, amazing instrumentation, just great. It might not be your style of music or the thing that you like, but you can't deny how well produced it is. You know what I mean? Like, okay.
Yeah.
And so you have their voices in your head. So when it sounds different, it's like, no, like I reject this. But when you go with your friends, you know, if you and me went to karaoke and we were just having a good time and hanging out, And then for me, you, Michelle, gets up and sings Super Trooper,
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, this is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. And you would be cheering for that person, even if it doesn't sound right. That to me is what this movie is. Who hates Pierce Brosnan? Who hates Colin Firth? Who you assemble all these people who are fun and have goodwill. They're singing way out of their ability, and you just sit back and laugh and enjoy it. That's what it is to me.
Yeah, I think that's what it should be. I
Yeah.
think that's what it should be. And that's a really good perspective and approach to this movie. Like, just have fun. And it does remind me of a bunch of people just doing karaoke.
Yes.
And you have that one friend who's like pretty good, like Amanda Seyfried, no notes.
Yeah.
No notes. The girl can sing.
Yeah.
Everyone else, you're like, okay. Like,
Yeah.
it'd be like if I got casted in a movie to sing. Can I sing? Not really. Should I? No. There's someone else that should be in this movie.
Right. If the goal is to be perfect.
I mean, hey, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if Phillida and Catherine were like, you know what, guys? Goal is not to be perfect.
I don't know that they brought a punk attitude of like, let's spend $50+ million on what is essentially like a big joke, but we're gonna do it.
I mean, Phillida in this behind the scenes movie I watched, whatever it was, she's very serious.
Yeah.
And there's so much to it between filming on location and then building those elaborate sets. And then
Yes.
I was very impressed with the vocal coach and working with.
They had one.
They did have one. Yes, they had one. And working with Benny and Bjorn with each actor and seeing what pitch everyone could hit.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And the range of their voice. So I was like, okay, like they worked really hard on this movie.
Mm-hmm. And that makes it more fun. Like, to me, that makes it funnier. I should say, I don't disagree with you at all. This is not a good movie.
Because I think about other stage musicals that were made into movies. One of my favorites is Hairspray.
Okay,
I love the movie Hairspray.
Yeah,
is Amanda Bynes the best singer? No, but I think she does a pretty good job. I think Zac Efron is great. I think everybody in that movie is really good. I mean, even John Travolta, right? Isn't that too?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Grease. Now Grease, I know you don't like, but they change a lot of it for the movie.
Okay.
The stage production is different story-wise.
Okay.
So that's why you can't help but think like, Mamma Mia. What? Oh, this is a choice.
Yeah.
Like,
yes, it is. It's a choice, but Meryl Streep just going for it makes me cry. This movie makes me cry multiple times, and it's not during slipping through my fingers.
I didn't shed one tear.
That's totally fine.
I would love to know all the parts you cried at. Meryl sung on all of her tracks.
Good.
Meaning, it was all ADR, obviously.
Yeah.
But every performance of hers, she sung live, which I was very impressed with as well.
Yeah. I mean, first time I'm crying is just, when we get Mamma Mia.
You texted me last week and you said, I just watched the trailer to Mamma Mia and I'm crying.
I'm already crying.
And I legitimately laughed out loud. And I felt like a jerk sending back the laughing emoji. Mm-hmm. I was like, is this for realious right now?
Yes, it's for real. Yeah. There is something, I can't remember if we've mentioned it. I mean, hey, like I said, halfway through year 3, it's hard to remember everything we've talked about. But there is an emotion that I experience that is similar to being overwhelmed when you're sad. Obviously, you see something really, really sad in a movie. It's so overwhelming. You're just devastated, right? I am devastated by earnestness and joy, excitement, and what I would say, like, going for it, right? So when Meryl Streep is like kind of walk dancing around this like hatch where the 3 men are, and she's like climbing up a ladder, singing this song, I shed a tear. And again, it's not because it's sad. I'm just like, I'm overcome by the beauty of it.
Yeah, I get that. I definitely have
Yeah.
experienced that before.
If you are listening to this show for the first time, I would love to picture what you think my favorite movies are, because it's not typically movies like Mamma Mia.
No.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know really how to approach the story of this movie.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine? I never knew who my dad was, but you know what? I'm getting married and I want to know. I can get behind wanting to know who you are and who you like, where you come
Yeah,
from.
of course. Yeah.
But to decide truly to do this around your wedding with the goal to have that father figure walk you down the aisle.
It's
Nuts.
it's a big swing. Now, with a jukebox musical like this,
Yeah.
you're starting from scratch. And so you get to say, what's the story? And we're going to do the music of ABBA. I can write this whatever I want, but eventually you do have to pick a story. And I think that some of the songs fit better. I mean, yeah, Slipping Through My Fingers. That's a great example, right? That song works for the scene. Winner Takes All with Meryl singing at Pierce Brosnan. I was like, I don't quite feel that this fits in this movie or in this story, but in this moment, sure, okay.
I agree with you on that. However, I felt that was her best singing performance.
Yeah, it's just like weird that like that's how they ended up at that
I know.
part.
And it's very, very long. I mean, there's 23 songs performed in this movie.
It's amazing. They should have done 30.
No, no, that's crazy. So we could have trimmed and taken out.
Yes, definitely. But I mean, Christine Baranski doing Does Your Mother Know on the
Yeah.
beach. It's like it's just so absurd and crazy, but I love it. Could you
Yeah.
take that out and anything would change? Yeah, nothing would change.
Right. But she's
then
a
it's-
strong singer. So I
But
want
then
to see her.
Well, right. But then you wouldn't get that moment, and I'm glad that
Yeah.
was choreographed and exists on screen.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Sophie, we start out and Sophie is like explaining the whole thing to her friends, and it's just like exposition dump, exposition dump, exposition dump. And I'm watching, I'm like, I feel like I'm at a Broadway show because that's what they're all like. They have to tell you everything really, really, really fast.
Yeah.
So Harry, Sam, and Bill. Now, okay, wait. Before I get to them, have you seen the second one?
No, and I don't have interest to.
Okay. Because I do believe that they reveal who the dad is.
Oh, really?
I think so. I might be telling tales out of school, but
Lily James is in that one. I watched the trailer for it.
okay.
So it seems like everybody comes back. I won't give the spoiler because I know.
It's like a flashback.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sam is played by Pierce Brosnan. He's the architect guy. They end up getting married. I also kind of love that. It's so stupid.
Why waste a good wedding, you know?
Why waste a good wedding?
Why waste a good wedding?
And the whole thing is about Sophie getting married just for them to be like, actually, we're not going to. I like that too. I think that's really
I do like
funny.
That. I do like that.
Yeah. And I was touched when, again, the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle is about, I want my dad to give me away. And then she's like, actually, I want you to give me away. I thought that was nice.
Yes, that was nice.
Yeah.
And then also all three dudes being like, it doesn't matter who the dad is. Ultimately, we all want to be a part of your life. I like that too.
I like that, but that is so like just being caught up in the moment. Like, you've lived 20 years, okay? You had a romantic fling with Donna. She was great. You guys were happy and young and whatever, but 20 years have passed, okay? So we are now old enough to be able to say, we could look back at 20 years and we were in a romantic situation with someone, okay? You go to this island for 2 days. You meet this kid. Are you committing to them for the rest of your life to be their third daddy?
You want to know how my logic is?
Feel free.
Okay. Sam, Harry, and Bill live in their lives. They get this invite. They drop everything to go.
Everything. Yeah.
So they're already seeking something. Their life is not complete. They need something else. Something's missing. They go to this Greek island, and for 2 days, we're singing and dancing. Because in my mind, life has been changed. We entered this orb where we sing and dance and express our feelings. And this was so special that I need to be a part of this for the rest of my life. I'm truly a changed human. I will commit.
That's a really funny to think.
Think about
like,
Sam
is
singing
Colin
and dancing
Firth,
at home.
Well, right. Is Colin Firth back home singing and dancing?
Right?
It's very
Think
funny
of it
to
like
think.
that.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when we cut to them, I mean, Stellan Skarsgård is just on a moped, flying through the streets with that great music of "Gimme, Gimme, Gimme."
Oh gosh, so good, right?
Oh God, it's so good.
So good.
And yeah, they're all just like, "Get me a taxi, get me an airplane. I'm going back." So yes, very good point. They're all three of them are kind of like, they're successful, but they're all lacking something. But where for me that kind of falls apart is like, none of them knew a child was involved, and it's just like the potential that it could be theirs is enough.
Better
for
late
them
than
to
never.
I guess, but I mean, if I so 20 years ago I was 16, 17. If I found out now that I maybe had a child out there that I never knew about, and I'm going to spend their weekend wedding together, great, fine, that's one thing. But there are 2 other guys who are also there who are like, we might also be the. I'm like, I'm going to wait and see where the chips fall before becoming fully invested.
You're kind of going to be like Bill, where you're like, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can commit, right? I think that was Bill, or was that Harry? But the thing is to remember, Sophie is young,
Yep.
but also an adult. So it's not like you need to provide the diapers and money for things. Like you're just you checking on the holidays. Hey, how's it going?
Well, I guess yes. If
You know what I'm saying?
if my potential kid was very very cute and adorable, 5'1" Amanda Seyfried, who's rushing up to me on a Greek dock with her giant eyes, being like, "Are you my third daddy?" Yeah, I might be like, "Ah, all right, I'll be your third daddy."
Yeah. Yeah, you could still be in that person's life. Who cares what they call you?
Right. And I guess like I wish that they had kind of come to like that conclusion at the end of like, instead of like, we're all your dad, just being like, you don't need for us to be your dad.
Yeah, but I get what they're saying.
I get it too. And that's really me splitting the hair.
You really are.
Yeah.
Out of all the things to split the hairs on with this one, that is definitely not something, I think.
So Amanda Seyfried as Sophie, you mentioned she's got the best pipes here. Have you seen her in Les Mis? With
Anne Hathaway?
Yeah.
I mean, apparently I did, but I just remember Anne Hathaway.
Oh, so she plays Anne Hathaway's daughter.
Oh, okay.
Grown up.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Cosette.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. She's also maybe one of the best singers in that movie too. Like she can really sing, and she's not doing the majority of the singing here though. And that's the funniest thing to me about Harry, Sam, and Bill is like Pierce Brosnan, God love him, he is doing the most singing here.
I know.
Out of the dudes, he's not the best out of the 3. Now, again, for me, I'm watching this and I'm having a good time. I got a response on Twitter, and I normally save these for the end, but this one has to do with their conversation, so I just wanted to pop it in here.
Sure.
This comes from Television David. So I put out a poll that said, Mamma Mia, good movie, bad movie, so bad it's good, or haven't seen it yet. Good movie won by a hair. The second runner-up was haven't seen it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Anyway, so in response to that, Television David says, worth it only because Brosnan cannot sing and did so without embarrassment. That takes real confidence, and it is shocking when you see an actor with it.
Yes.
And I was like, that is a really, really good point. And I think that's also something that for me, it's not a pity thing, but I'm just like, oh, yeah. Like, you know what, Pierce Brosnan? You were James Bond. You've had a good career. You don't need to do this, but you're doing it. Good for you.
Right. Again, going back to I want to do a different type of role. I want to challenge myself.
Right.
But for like a one-off person who goes to see a movie, okay, who doesn't do all this behind the scenes research and truly thinks like Pierce is really going for it, you know?
Right. Oh no, you said
This
you're dumbfounded, I think.
This right. Correct. Yeah.
But this movie was really successful.
I know.
We'll talk about later.
I know.
Meryl Streep, Donna, she runs Donna's Hotel or something?
Donna's Villa.
Donna's Villa. How'd you feel about her in this movie?
I love Meryl's acting more than her singing. I felt her acting scenes were just stronger until the scene where she's singing at Pierce, Winner Takes It All. Yeah. I'm not saying she's a bad singer. I'm not saying that.
No.
But I
think she's
she's doing an okay job. And then again, watching a behind the scenes video, hearing how she took her daughters to go see, Meryl took her daughters to go see the musical, and they all loved it. And then Phillida is like, we want you to be Donna. And she was like, what? Me? I love that.
Right. Yeah, it is nice that, incredibly over-nominated, world-famous actress Meryl Streep can still be like, oh, wow, I never pictured myself in this role.
Right.
That's cool. That's nice. Now, what comes into play with all these people is kind of like, I think sometimes people can be a little full of themselves and think that they can take something on, and clearly they can't. But I don't care. Who cares?
Well, right. I mean, if you're going to say that I think then the whole case for this movie is then who cares?
Right.
So
I love Meryl in this. I think she's kind of, it's like she can't turn off her Meryl Streep acting, where I genuinely feel that she is acting at a caliber that's makes her stick out from everyone else in the cast.
Yeah.
Where everyone else is like, it seems like, like you said, like everyone's having fun. And I do think Meryl is like having fun, but it's like Meryl having fun in her way, where it's like, yes, but I'm still performing like at this level. Right. And like when you match up like Amanda Seyfried doing this, just like I said, like just the widest eye. Oh, it doesn't match. But to me, it kind of makes the movie funnier. Right. And then, yeah, I love her performance. Oh my God. Like when they do Super Trooper together, all three of them, it's one of I think it's maybe my favorite scene in the movie.
Is that your favorite musical number?
It's so hard to say because I just have the Ghost of ABBA playing and I'm like, yes, I love Gimme, 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 A Man After Midnight. So like some of that momentum is just coming from loving the real version. Yeah. And then in this, I'm like, you know that gif of Jay-Z where he's got glasses on and he's listening to a song and he's kind of like bopping his head, but he's like looking around like, okay, I think I can feel it. That's me for like almost all of these performances. It's like,
yeah,
You're almost there.
I wrote in my notes, voulez-vous, I like this scene. And I
Mm-hmm.
felt that was really well done. That's probably one of my favorite songs, ABBA songs.
Mm-hmm.
And I came to this conclusion this week while listening to a lot of ABBA, but specifically with voulez-vous. My favorite part of this song, okay? Voulez-vous, aha. The aha
Mm-hmm.
parts are my favorite. And
Ooh,
I
interesting.
truly aspire to be an aha girl one day.
Hmm.
I just want to be on a track. I don't know who's going to compose it or sing, featuring Mitch Ruby, and it's just me going aha or uh-huh. I just want to provide the ahas or the ahas.
Hey, if you are a music maker out there and you've got a song that could use some ahas, let's do it. Let's make Michelle's dreams come
Yeah.
true.
Because it's on the list of like one day being a voiceover actor for
Mm-hmm.
some part, writing a movie that will actually make, right? And then I was like, oh, I'm adding this to the bucket list. I want to provide ahas or ahas.
Well, you know what? Our good friend director CJ Wallace said something that I think about all the time,
Yeah.
which is, how did he word it? Something like, when you're afraid that you won't get invited to the party, so you just make the party.
Sure. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now, to me, I'm like, well, we just got to write a song
Well, right. And just
that for
put
some reason has Michelle going, ah.
aha, aha.
Next Movie Friends theme song. We'll put that in there.
Uh,
You know what I thought about a lot when I was watching this? I thought about my own mom. And I thought about how my mom is funny and goofy and performative. I think that this movie is a really good depiction of like female joy
Female friendship.
and silliness and being funny and being I mean, when Julie Walters
Oh my gosh.
is like slipping off of a roof during Take a Chance on Me and then like crawling after Stella and Skarsgård like they're two cats along a roof. That's great. I really like that. And what is the song when all of the women are at the dock?
With the flippers? No, that's the guys. That's
Oh yeah, of course. It's Dancing Queen. When they're doing Dancing Queen. And we end at the dock and it's just all the women from the town and you've got young women and old women. It's just all these women. And they're all just dancing and smiling and laughing. And then they start jumping into the water. And I was like, I don't know what the male equivalent of this is. And I don't know that there is one like in movies. And there should be. Like there should be this just depiction of like celebration and happiness.
the
And
male equivalent would be a bunch of guys like, yeah, and like slapping each other and
right,
then
right,
rolling
right.
around and
But like on this high level, like production level, but it doesn't lose. I don't know. Like it does. I don't know if I can describe it. Like every woman who's on that dock does not look like a Hollywood actor, if I can put it that way. It's not produced to the point where everyone is in like matching outfits and super well choreographed and like, you know, what we would consider to be like perfection or whatever like that. Like it just feels like, let's get a bunch of women together. They're going to dance and laugh and jump in the water. And how does that make you feel? And for me, like I said, it reminds me like of my mom. It makes me think of like women in my life. I don't know. I think it's, I think that Mamma Mia is a beautiful expression of like humanity and female joy. So just shoot me. All right. Sue me.
it's a little dramatic, but okay.
I wrote in my notes. There is something kind of special about an entire dock full of women of all ages singing and dancing to this song. Can women have fun for goodness sake?
It's so funny because I view that scene and I'm not thinking that at all.
Yeah, yeah.
Like at all.
What are you thinking?
I'm just like, oh boy. But the female friendships in this movie,
Yeah.
I love.
Yeah.
Rosie, Tanya, and Donna. I love the three of these girls together.
Mm-hmm.
And like you said, they are silly. There's a lot of joy. They're singing together. Donna and the Dynamos.
Yes.
It's great. I love that. Sophie and her friends are forgettable. So I wish she had
Yeah.
better friends.
Are they around at all after the opening?
Yeah, but Donna and her friends, I love.
It's very much like, hi, my best friends. One of you is tall and one of you is whatever, and I'm short. Let me tell you what's happening. Okay, bye now.
Right.
See you at the end.
Right. But like we highlight Donna and her two friends, and yes, the story is kind of like this love story between Donna and these three men, and also like who's my dad and blah blah blah. But Donna and her two friends are still at the forefront, which I love.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let me ask you, who is the lead of this movie? Is it Amanda Seyfried or is it Meryl Streep?
Probably Meryl Streep.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more about Donna.
Yeah.
Sophie is the thing that gets the ball rolling, but
Right.
it's about Donna. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Sky?
What a turd.
I cannot agree more. And I don't understand why I feel that way, because I feel like he's not even necessarily ever really
Is this the
shown.
whole reason you wanted to get married?
Well, not to play Sky's advocate, but I mean, you and Anthony had a real small wedding, right?
Tomorrow's our wedding anniversary, actually.
Oh my God.
10
Happy
years.
anniversary.
10 years.
Oh my God.
17 years together.
Listen, not to make everything about movie friends, but our timing remains impeccable.
I know. But yes, okay, continue.
But you guys had a real small wedding.
Mhm.
This is an agreement between the two of you.
Yeah.
If Anthony pulls the rug out from under you and says, actually, no, I want to have this big, huge wedding. So you're like, okay, I love you. Let's do this. And then moments before you got married, you found out that Anthony orchestrated this whole thing because he wanted to, I don't know, run some type of social experiment.
I would take it more of just, why didn't you tell me this?
Right. And that is, yeah, like, why didn't she tell
Why
Sky?
didn't you just share this with me? I think because
Right.
she's young and romanticizing the whole idea.
Yeah.
Listen, that little Greek island, you just sing and dance there.
It's a magical place.
It's a magical place.
Where everything goes out the window.
That's right.
But yeah, Sky sucks. Ugh. I do like his line, though. I think that he kind of gets one of the lines of the movies. She says, I want to know myself. And he says, that doesn't come from finding your father. That comes from finding yourself.
Yeah.
Good point. But also, she wants to know who her dad is. So shut up, Sky.
And also, Sky, do you have a dad who's present in your life? Because if you do, then you can't relate.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said he was a turd.
No, I think he's the worst part of this movie.
Not my favorite.
Yeah. Can we quickly run through the three men?
Sure. Let's have our bachelors.
Sam.
Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Least favorite.
Really?
Yes, least favorite. And yet
Okay.
we get the most singing and we end up with Meryl.
The most of him, yeah. Pierce Brosnan's very handsome, though.
Sure. Yeah, he is. And I'm not saying he's not.
Hold on.
I think I just wasn't a Sam fan. I'm just not a Sam fan.
Okay, but let's just take him as Pierce Brosnan. You don't think that he's a handsome guy?
I never said that.
But do you?
I do, yes.
Okay.
Do
I don't know why this is very important to me.
Clearly, are you a Pierce stan?
No, not really. I've never seen...
You're very defensive over his aesthetic appearance.
I'm very defensive over him in this movie because I just, again, I love...
Yeah.
I just love confidence that overrides all logic.
Yeah. But I don't know, he's just my least favorite dude.
Okay. Harry. Colin Firth.
He's okay in my ranking.
Headbanger Harry?
Yeah. Yeah, he's fine.
Okay. Wow.
The dudes are my least favorite part of this movie. So I'm not really given too much real estate in my brain about them.
Yeah,
It's
I
the
wish.
females for me that
Yeah,
make
I
this
wish that we
movie.
kind of pulled back from Sophie and Sky, like cut out all of their stuff. Give it to the three. The three guys need to be having their own Mamma Mia experience and journey,
Yeah.
like the three female friends are, and like
Why though? It's not about
I
them.
just feel like
This is
there's
for female. We are showcasing females here. We don't need to see these three dudes, more of them. I'm good.
yeah.
Give me more Tanya. Give me more Rosie.
Yeah, okay. All right. I just think that they are kind of flat.
I know they are.
And
They are flat.
yeah. And I think it's because they're not given more time to be fleshed out.
How long do we want this movie to be? 4 hours long? Seth would be like,
Yes.
that's great. Please, I
Yes.
want that.
If there was a 4-hour cut of this movie, I would watch it once a year.
So that leads me to think,
Because
like,
it's so much more absurd.
right, you love these people. Why
Mhm.
don't you want to see the second to see these people again?
No, I can't risk it.
You
I can't.
might see, I think you do see Sam, Harry, and Bill all come.
Yeah.
We might learn more about them, and you might get your three magical moments.
Yeah.
Or your magical moments with these three, I should say.
Okay, last Bill. Stellan Skarsgård. How do you feel
Okay,
about
so
it?
here's one I enjoyed.
Okay.
I very
like
much.
Bill.
I do like Bill. I was
Why?
rooting for Bill. I don't know. I like we see his cheeks. I thought that
Yes.
was funny.
Mm-hmm.
I liked his attitude.
Stellan Skarsgård, real nudist in real life.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know you're a frequent nudie.
No.
I can't. I don't think I could be. Imagine being a frequent nudie with a plastic on a couch.
Oh gosh.
We
Well,
talked
that's when
about
you
that.
need it because
I was so uncomfortable.
But I'm just saying, with no clothes as a barrier, you're just going straight into that couch.
Yeah. But anyway, I liked
But why
Bill.
do you like Bill? Like, I'm just curious.
Something about him where I just was amused by him the most. I was
Okay.
most interested in him, and he had a boat. So perhaps I'm just into boats now.
Okay. Sure.
Who's your favorite out of the dudes? Besides Pierce, because you feel you need to defend him, character-wise.
I like Harry. I'm not always the biggest fan of Colin Firth.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about him in our episode on Love Actually.
Yeah, with Simon and Dom.
God. Love Actually, which is the Mamma Mia of Christmas movies.
Yeah.
But I like Harry. We get the little twist at the end that he's gay.
Mm-hmm.
And at the start, you might think, hey, 3 guys, 3 ladies. Maybe
Right.
we're all going to end up together. Right? And then, nope. Little twist at the end.
I liked that.
Yeah. But I mean, Harry's a grown up punk, so I have to.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, sure.
I have to root for him.
Sure.
Did you have a favorite? I know we kind of talked about this, but did you have a favorite number?
Voulez-vous.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you, my least favorite was the dudes with the flippers. At that point, I'm over it.
It's so stupid,
It's
though.
so stupid. Well, right. I'm just like, come on. I don't need to see you flopping around. I'm good.
Yeah, I think for me, it's got to be least favorite. I think it just has to be Winner Takes All, because I'm just like,
oh well, yeah.
I'm just like,
yeah.
this doesn't make any sense.
And it's too long.
Well, at that point, right? It's like we are at the door of the church of the thing that we've been waiting for, but before we get there, we're gonna stop for this big long number. Does it make sense? No, but whatever. It doesn't. I mean, they get married like 5 minutes later. So
I know.
Yeah. And then my favorite is just Super Trooper, because it's not one of the big choreographed numbers. It's literally just Meryl Streep, Christine Baranski, and Julie Walters, like in funny costumes, just pushing it with their charisma, and
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So you've been listening to ABBA this week.
Oh yeah, I love
Have
ABBA.
you?
ABBA is the best type of music. It's a lot of like you express yourself, a lot of hand stuff. And you like pop your shoulders, and it's so performative
Yeah.
when you're by yourself.
Mm-hmm.
At least it is to me.
Yeah. This might be dramatic sounding, but I don't think that you can like passively listen to ABBA.
I tried having it on in the background while I was working. I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it. I was just like singing and
Yeah.
dance. I could not help myself.
Yeah. And I've listened to ABBA throughout my life,
Yeah.
but this week everything changes when you know that you have to talk about something in a public way, right?
Yes, it does.
So a movie that you've seen 1,000 times before, when you know that you're going to talk about it, is a very, very different experience. And that's why, fellow podcasters out there, it's important to watch movies when you're not covering them.
I feel like that was a direct point of finger to me, Sethala.
No, because you don't watch movies all that much. So, but yeah, like if the only time that you're doing something is because you're doing an episode on it, then it will become a chore, and you can't even help it. It's just a switch flips, you know?
Yeah.
So, but listening to ABBA this week, I was just like, oh my, like, it's just unreal how these songs were produced and how precise they are. I mean, Mamma Mia, when we start and we're using kind of like minor keys and we're using like minor notes in the opening, it's just like a teeny bit.
I love it. I love it so much.
And then we get into the verses, and then we get into the chorus, and then we get into the the switch that happens musically. We do that part, and then we go right back into it. I'm like, oh, how did they do it? It's like watching figure skating to me. ABBA,
Yeah.
listening to ABBA. It's
Yes.
it's all so precise, but it looks fun and effortless. But every spin is like.
Do you have a favorite ABBA song?
Do you?
It's either Voulez-Vous, because
Yeah.
now, and Fernando.
Fernando is really good.
Yeah. I mean, there is so much to explore.
It's
with them,
hard.
so
Yeah. I don't want to be basic, even though who cares? But like, Take a Chance on Me is just. It's like
how fitting that I chose
one of the
that
most
for you.
perfect pop songs ever made. And even listening to Dancing Queen again this week, a song that I've heard. I mean, how many times in your life have you heard Dancing Queen?
And
if I'm listening to ABBA, I'm skipping it. You know, not that it's bad, but it's just I've heard it. I've heard it. But re-listening to it, I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Money.
Yeah.
Also a really good one.
Also,
they're
really
all,
and that's why I compared them to Queen, because like if you listen to just Queen albums, you're like, oh my God, all of this is great. All right. So this movie was made for $52 million back in 2008. That's a big old budget, baby.
It's a lot.
But then it goes on to make $611 million.
Wow.
This movie did not flop in the slightest.
That's great. That's great.
People were eating this up, dude. Which to me makes the whole thing even funnier. Like, that's why I said I would watch a 4-hour version of this. Everything that you can add on to this just like garbage sandwich. And I say that with love, obviously.
I get
great
it.
affection.
I get it.
Everything you can add on to this, I'm like, oh yes, please.
I'm
me
eating
more.
it up.
Gimme. All right. Rotten Tomatoes, this is at 55.
Okay.
And when I read that, my eyes bugged out of my head. We very rarely cover movies on the main show that are like below what they consider, certified fresh. So seeing that green splatter, I was like, what the heck? On Letterboxd, this has a 3.8, which is actually maybe too high.
Wow, that's surprising.
And then 51 on Metacritic. So yeah, I can't take whatever you rate this movie. Apparently I can't understand. This might come as a shocker. This is not part of the Criterion Collection. This is not in the National Film Registry. Ebert gave this 2 out of 4 stars.
Okay.
He, at the beginning of his review, just flat out says, this was not made for me. I saw the stage show. I also didn't really like that. And I don't really like ABBA that much.
Okay, so really
So,
not for him.
Right. And they shot this from almost the end of August into October.
Wow.
Yeah, so pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about our happies and crappies.
It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies and crappies. Happies and crappies. It's time for happies.
My happy is ABBA. Now, this is part of a trilogy of ABBA movies, not including Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. There's Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
Oh.
Yep. Which is about drag performers in Australia. There is Muriel's Wedding, starring Toni Collette. Super young Toni Collette, too.
Wow.
Great movie. Tons of ABBA. And then this one. So, and I love all three movies because I love ABBA.
Wow.
And then my crappy is Sky. I just hate him. I'm definitely overreaching, I think, what the movie is showing us about him, where I'm like, get this guy out of here.
Yeah.
Give me more Bill. Let Amanda Seyfried and Bill Skarsgård just hang out for a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't need this husband.
Yeah, I agree. My happy is female friendship. And like I said, I love what we get to see in this movie of that. My crappy is that it's too long.
Okay.
Not that it was made, just that it was too long. Let's trim this up. Let's trim this up.
Right. So we asked some friends online what they thought. Over on Instagram, Marley Loves Films says, the one episode of Movie Friends that my mom will listen to. LOL.
Hi, Marley's mom, if you're listening.
If Marley's mom is listening to this, I hope that you don't hate us.
Yeah.
Over on Twitter, Melissa D'Agostino at Melissa Dags says, Mamma Mia features one of my all-time favorite background performers in a film. She steals every frame as far as I'm concerned. This movie is a fever dream that is best experienced outdoors, in my experience. I'm here for it. And then she shared this photo.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
And it is of one of the townspeople who is always singing and dancing. She's a little bit older and she's got blonde, kind of, what would you call that? Chin length hair?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree. I
didn't
notice
notice her, but now.
Oh yeah. She's kind of like heavily featured too. Like she's not always in the background. She's one of the ones at the forefront. Nice. So you have to rewatch Mamma Mia to.
Well.
Britt Chavez at Britt Chavez says, I love this movie so much. Crying stream emoji. All-star cast. The mother-daughter chemistry is so warm and realistic. I first saw Stellan Skarsgård in The Glass House, LOL. So I remember being shocked to see him as this sweet man tearing up the dance floor. Can't wait to hear your favorite song. Patrick Lavallee at H Murdoch 6.
Hello.
Says, ... What did you think about the ... stuff?
I don't know. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I thought you... Never mind. I was like, what is he going to write? Yeah, I thought that was funny, the way they did that.
It's very yada, 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 right?
It's very yada, yada, yada. Yeah.
Official webmaster John Butter.
John Butter?
At the John Butter says, I think every musical should have an ABBA song somewhere in it. And I actually really like that idea. And I was trying to imagine, like, a movie like Les Mis. And then just somewhere in the middle. I think that would be fun. Like if Broadway all came together and they were like, you know what? For the next year, you got to figure out how to fit an ABBA song in your show.
It could be like the ABBA mission or the ABBA adventure.
Yes.
And then people could go see the plays that participate, the musicals, I should say. And then they can keep a little passport book. It'd be a fun little challenge for the patrons.
Yeah, I would enjoy it.
That's a great idea. Broadway should hire you, Seth.
I should be Mr. Broadway.
You should be Mr. Broadway.
All right, so listen, people that we do know. Now we go to a segment of the show where we hear from people that we don't know. It's called half star, 3-star, 5-star. All right, these are reviews from letterboxd.com, which is a website and an app where you can log, rate, and review movies. We start with a half-star review, which is the lowest rating that you can give a film. And we go all the way up to a 5-star review, which is the highest rating that you can give a film. And do you have a... Should I sing the half-star review
should
like Pierce
sing it.
Brosnan?
You should. It always goes back to Kermit.
Yeah.
That's Pierce Kermit. That's
the
Kermit
one.
doing Pierce Brosnan.
That's the one voice that I have. Yeah.
And you do a really good Rocky Balboa.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good how you drop into it.
And then I was like, yo, Mamma Mia, you know? It's like Mamma Mia up in here. All of a sudden.
Imagine Rocky talking at Adrian about Mamma Mia.
Right. Hey, Adrian, I just came back from this movie. And they were talking about Super Troopers. And I think a little bit of it went over my head. But, it was a good time. And I think you might like it.
You
maybe
like
we could
ABBA?
go. Yeah, maybe we could go see it sometime, you know? You want to go see a movie? Now I'm picturing, like, Mamma Mia exactly as it is. But the three dads are played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone, and Jean-Claude Van Damme.
If we
Just
recast
like
it.
just three huge action stars.
That's so funny.
Yes. Sophie. Wait, how does Schwarzenegger talk? Yeah. I'll be back.
Yeah, Choppa.
Sophie, I'll be your daddy. Okay. Half-star review. I went with a girl to see this musical live. And when we got back to her house, we watched this movie and I hated it. Do. After the movie ended, she asked if I wanted to go to prom with her. I said yes. At prom, she left me to slow dance with her ex-boyfriend.
Oh, no! I'm so in tune to this half-star review.
Half-star. Yep.
So
I pulled this because it made me laugh. I'm not going to lie. Like,
this is not actually...
This has nothing to do with this movie other than being attached to a bad memory. And yeah, that's okay.
I thought you were going to say, like, oh, and Dancing Queen came on and we danced.
Nope.
No. So this person who wrote this review is treating Letterboxd as a journal.
Yes, which you can. You should, I think.
Okay. All right.
3-star review says, so, like, this on its surface is pretty bad, right? ... question mark. But I also think getting wine drunk to a sing-along version with my friends could, in fact, fix every issue in my life.
100%.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. And that's me just alone on my couch, Diet Coke drunk by myself.
Right.
5-star review says, fun fact, Mamma Mia made more money than Iron Man. Ugh. The power of women, feminism, and ABBA. P.S. Pierce Brosnan's voice is actually not as bad as y'all make it out to be. At least he's better than Russell Crowe in Les Mis.
Oh, no.
And I pulled this, and I was like, there's no way that's true. And then I looked it up, and indeed, Mamma Mia made more money than Iron Man did. And Iron Man spawned 30-plus movie sequels. And so where are the 30-plus Mamma Mia sequels? That's what I want to know.
We have one. You won't watch it.
Well, I don't necessarily want to watch them, but there should be a new Mamma Mia every year.
No, I think we need to understand where the line is.
Each one is called Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. And then the third one is Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again. And the fourth one, you guessed it, is Mamma Mia. Here we go again.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Sure.
I like that I just asked you right to that, and you said, yeah.
Well, now I'm just thinking story-wise, what do we do? I guess the second one leads into the third one, and the third one will lead into the fourth one, unless
Well,
we change the story.
You find out that Sophie never knew who her doctor was when she was born. And so she has to invite 3.
Why don't you just take a DNA test? Why would
what
you
is
invite
it?
the doctor?
Oncologist? What? Who delivers a baby? Obstetrician. She has to invite 3 obstetricians to help her deliver her child.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Oh, uh-huh.
And then you find out Sophie never knew who her pre-K teacher was.
Well, I think at this point, Sophie's kid is like, Sky wasn't my dad. I don't know who my dad is.
Wow.
So I think it's just generationally
Sure.
we continue with
Right.
who's my daddy.
Until we're like 500 years in the future, and it's like, I don't know what computer made me.
Right,
Beep,
we're
bop,
in
boop.
space.
Right. Mamma Mia. Blasting off again. Okay.
There's
all right.
so many options to go with.
Look, like I said, if Marvel movies could make all these entries, let's do it with Mamma Mia.
Yeah.
The MMCU.
There we go.
All right. So we rate a movie as a schmovie, a movie, or a film.
Yep.
We rate it 1 through 5 stars and give our final thoughts and recommendations. I won last week.
You sure did.
So I go first. So what did you put down for me?
For you, I put down 3.5 movie.
Okay. All right. I'm going to... when I first watched this, I rated it 3 stars. My review for it simply said, Stellan Skarsgård is the coolest guy on the planet. I'm going to up that. I think that this is a 4-star schmovie.
Okay.
Yep. For all the reasons that we talked about.
Can I interject here? I always ask you if I can interject, like you're the teacher and I'm raising my hand. I would like to introduce a new rating to our system. This is a schmusical.
Oh, there's a lot of those.
So,
yes.
This is the birth of the schmusical for our show.
Love it. Love it. And yes, there are a lot of those.
Yes.
I agree. I approve. I don't have a gavel to hit, but
thank you.
The motion has passed.
Thank you so much.
4-star schmovie. I think in a schmovie, it's not necessarily that something has to go wrong. It's just that you have to really ask yourself a lot, what were they thinking?
Yep.
And this has that in spades. I recommend watching this, but quite frankly, if you don't like it, I don't want to know. It's not that I don't want to hear your opinion, but like, I just want this to be fun. I don't have a lot of fun in my life, okay? So it's like, if you're part of the group that's like, Mamma Mia is absurd and ridiculous, and it's just funny and fun without being mean about it, you know, that's where I'm at with it. So proceed with caution, I guess.
Yes.
All right. For you, it turns out I actually put down for you what I wrote for myself. So 4-star schmovie.
Okay. So this is a 4-star schmusical. So I
Oh my
guess,
God.
Yes. So you should go play Lotto.
After everything that you just said, that's what you're rating this?
This is a 4-star schmusical.
Wow.
Yes. However, it's a 2.5 movie.
Yeah.
It's a 2.5 movie, but it's a 4-star schmusical.
I can't believe I guessed that.
I
should go play the lottery.
I cannot believe. Well, I guess if you were like, well, Michelle, I actually wrote down 4-star schmovie, I would have taken that, but 2.5 movie, then I would have been like, whoa, Seth is in my mind. Okay. I will rate this if you need something light and fun to watch. If you're sick, put this on because it's going to make you laugh. And I mean, maybe not, but like this is the type of movie, like I'm laying in bed and I don't feel well. I'll put this on because I'm just going to laugh at it. Yeah. Don't take it too seriously. And then it's just going to make you want to listen to ABBA afterwards. So that is like a true gift.
Yeah. ABBA is doing the most heavy lifting of any element of any movie
Do
ever.
you know that Benny and Bjorn got the band together who played the instruments to do the tracks for this?
That's amazing.
And they
That's
couldn't
great.
believe that they could do it so fast. I think they did it in like 5 days. He's like,
Wow.
it just came back to all of us because it's
Right.
in us.
Right.
I was like, oh God,
That's great.
what the heck?
Yeah.
I was so mean against Mamma Mia
Right.
until I watched this video.
Right. See, I did like so little research on this movie. And I wanted to say to you, last week when we started talking about My Big Fat Greek Wedding, you were like, hey, I'm coming in hot and I'm going to say, like, I don't want to dissect this. That's how I felt about this. I was like, I don't care. I don't care about anything.
Yeah, right.
I know how I feel about this.
Yeah.
Okay. Does this movie pass the Seth Shell test? The Seth Shell test is our spin on the Bechdel test. We require that a movie must contain something tangible that is impressive, whether that's choreography, production design, or practical effect, and it must have a runtime that is justified by its content. This is a no for me on like both counts. While also loving the movie. But look, I'm not delusional, okay?
Right.
Yeah.
I thought it was impressive production wise. They had real vegetation and real olive trees. And then at
Okay.
night, they had these big grow lights to keep them alive, which I thought that was pretty cool.
That's interesting. Okay.
However, no and no for me.
God, yeah. And having said that,
yes. Yeah.
Hey, now that we have said all that we had to say, we love it if you give us a rating and review wherever you're listening. If you're on Spotify, hey, leave us a comment. You can leave it right on the episode. We would love that. Michelle loves to get those. She sends them to me and she's like, look.
I do. I love all comments.
You can also send us an email, moviefriendspodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you thought about Mamma Mia, about this new idea of a schmusical. Hey, send us your favorite schmusical. You can also support the show, patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. $5 a month gets you access to all of our additional episodes, commercial-free episodes. You get to vote on monthly themes once a quarter and monthly episodes, just like Mamma Mia. Hey, this one was voted in. Pretty amazing.
Right.
You also get access to our patron-only Discord. And look, your life can mean something, okay? Today, you can sign up and you can change our lives forever. And you can go to sleep tonight in your big bath sheet and you can say, wow, I made a difference. Okay, wedding month is over, the longest month of my life, and I don't mean that in a bad way. We're moving into July, and this is without a doubt the most excited I am for a lineup, I think, ever in the history of the show.
It feels fun and what summer should be about.
Ooh, good idea. So for July, we are doing what I'm calling So Bad It's Good Lie. We're going to be looking at movies that are so bad it's good. This is a topic that's controversial. I have a lot of thoughts on it myself, but it's like the easiest way to express this grouping of movies. This is also kind of like Schmovie Month. And so going from Mamma Mia into this is kind of a good segue.
Like you said at the top of the show, our timing is impeccable. Or you said that at some point during this episode. Maybe it was this episode. You said it at some point.
Who knows? We're stuck in a timeless hell here, folks. Okay.
Timeless hell.
It's like purgatory.
That's right. Purgatory, and I'm stuck doing this.
We have to make 1,000 episodes before we're free.
Then we level up.
Mm-hmm. We're going to start with a movie that is so bad it's good. It literally has a documentary made about it called Best Worst Movie. That's right, folks. We are going to be talking about Troll 2, directed by Claudio Fragasso. It's from 1990, 95 minutes long. It's currently streaming on Tubi and Prime. The idea of doing this and potentially people watching this movie is the most excited I've like ever been, ever since doing like Magic Spot, like a Matt Farley movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If one person watches Troll 2, it will all have been worth it.
I can't
Now
wait.
you have seen this. We watched this together.
We watched it together. And Anthony watched it with us.
Yes. Are you going to watch the doc?
Yes, I can't wait to watch the doc.
It's so good.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, that's it. We did it.
Farewell, June.
Oh, yeah. Really quickly. By the way, we were talking about Mamma Mia connects to like every wedding movie that we've done. My Big Fat Greek Wedding is in Greece. This is about who the father of the bride is. Melancholia stars Stellan Skarsgård. And it's a wedding and they're singing just like Wedding Singer.
And the fact that this is a Playtone production.
Playtone production, which was also My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Wow.
Perfect.
Perfect.
All right. Well, hey, thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Seth. I'm so happy for you that we got to do Mamma Mia, because I believe it was a month ago when we were together and we were discussing, should we do Mamma Mia or Melancholia? And you got both. So
I did.
I'm very happy for you.
I'm a very lucky boy.
Yes, you are.
All right. Well, hey, thank you very much for listening. And remember, folks, it's Aphrodite. Till next time when we're talking about Troll 2. Thank you so much for listening. Have a good one.
Movie Friends is produced by Seth Vargas and Michelle Rubenstein. Theme music by Jean Marie Vargas. Visit us at our website, moviefriendspodcast.com, and please subscribe and rate our show wherever you are listening. You can support Movie Friends at patreon.com/moviefriendspodcast. Thanks for listening.
Incoming. Message incoming. Message to Michelle's inner circle. Remember, kids, only Michelle's inner circle can decipher this week's message. Get ready. Get ready. Get ready.
Message number 24. H W V X U C Z R U I X X P C U U.
Michelle is counting on you. Do not let her down.